I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, where the shop talk is rock. All right, Jim, Jerry, this is episode 141.
Wow.
The heat is on, folks.
It is.
It is. Although today I thought was a little mild. Comparably speaking.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I
felt a little better out here too. Yeah.
I don't think today was as bad as it has been, but I know Edison's going to be loving me this month. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they love everybody when the heat's on. Oh yeah.
Word is it's going to get hotter. So
yes,
I'm hearing that.
Yep. Hey, I want to clear up something from the last episode. If anybody was paying attention, Don Dokken is singing with the band.
Saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was glad to hear that because
same.
Dokken without Don Dokken just isn't Dokken.
Correct.
Right.
No, it's not docking. It's aborting.
Right. And
thank
news,
you, Frank.
Yeah. Jack Russell today announced that he is retiring from touring. His body is shutting down. He's having too many medical issues. And he says, I cannot deliver to what the fans deserve or what he deserves to give. So he is officially retiring from the road. So sad to hear that. But
it's happening, guys. All our idols, it's happening.
I've been a fan of that band, both incarnations, for an awful long time.
Yeah.
I still follow Mark Kendall in his version.
Yeah.
It's not the same without Jack's voice, but Mark Kendall's such an awesome guitar player.
Yeah.
He
makes
is,
up for it.
Yeah.
And mostly seems like an all-around good guy.
You know, I have to agree. I know you two won't like this, but my only fault that I see him nowadays is that he's a diehard Dodger fan. So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
That doesn't make him all bad.
No, I like him even more. Yeah.
I thought he was from Orange County. You'd think he would be an Angel fan. But,
why?
Well,
why
sir, you're from LA County.
Yeah, tell him, Jaime. Tell him what's up.
I live closer to Anaheim Stadium than I do to the Dodger Stadium. So, yeah.
Well, the thing is when Frank became a fan, they were the California Angels.
Yes, it's true. They ruled all of California.
I remember having my California Angel hat, my Nolan Ryan poster when I was in Cub Scouts, Frank.
Yep.
I'll give you that. That's right.
That's about how long I've been a fan of the Angels. And I think
California
that's...
I mean, as long as I've known you, you've been an Angels fan.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I could never understand it, but...
I don't, well, you know what?
Frank is Frank. I mean, that's all you got to know. Yeah.
I love the classic Dodgers, the Tommy Lasorda, the Walt Alston era and all that. I don't know at what point it was after Fernando Mania or something happened. I don't know quite what it was, but it just turned me off. I don't know what took place. I think maybe when Garvey and Say and Lopes, that whole infield broke up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was all about Fernando Mania. I thought that was great. He was fun to watch. And Tommy Lasorda, come on.
Yeah.
This has absolutely nothing to do with music, but
nope.
Anyways, since we're not talking about music anyways, what do you say we give away a skateboard?
Great idea.
Let's go.
Or at least a deck. How's that?
Yeah.
Great idea.
Okay. What I've done is I've compiled the names here all in this bundle.
Okay.
I'm going to put them in this cup. Let's shake this up. And Jim, if you would read this as I use your glasses.
Yeah.
Who do we have here? Who's getting a skateboard?
Dylan Oldham.
Dylan Oldham. Okay. Congratulations,
all right,
Dylan. You are the winner of the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast skate deck.
Wow.
If you're not watching, I will email you tonight and let you know. And everybody else who put in for it, I'll send you an email. And if you want a compensation prize, I might have a Shake and Abe CD or some stickers for you. Or you
how
can
about
just...
how about a T-shirt?
I haven't got paid, but yeah, I could probably do some t-shirts.
No, the CD and the glow in the dark sticker and the guitar pick, folks, on
Oh
Conspiracy
yeah,
Land.
and the pick.
I know.
We'll see. Maybe that's
That Shakin' Abe is no slouch. No, he is not.
yeah, well, with this
Yeah.
next electricity bill here, I had to hold
Excuse
off
me.
on the t-shirts.
Yeah,
Had to make
it's
some hard
cooking.
choices.
It's cooking where
Makes
you're
sense.
Yep.
at. Yeah,
Eat, stay cool. I know.
There you go.
yeah.
Hey, how about we jump right in to our top three Three Dog Night songs before we get to some new music? You've both been giving that some thought over the last couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
Mine was instant.
Okay.
Absolutely instant.
All right.
I can say I knew one right off the bat.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, but when I started revisiting all the songs, I was like,
Ah,
I didn't remember they did this one or that one or the other one,
and they have a pretty good catalog.
Oh, they're
of
loaded.
just
It's loaded.
Great.
That's why I
tunes.
didn't. That's why I didn't go down the rabbit hole. I mean, I go, don't do it, Jerry. Just off the top of your head.
you were smart.
Yes.
I can't. I'll be a mess.
All right. I'll start off, and I'll start right with. I will say this: I did not pick "Joy to the World." That was an instant pick right off the top. Their most famous song. I said, nope, not going there.
Same
So,
here.
It probably is their most famous song.
I think so, and I wore that 45 out.
It's,
Oh, I
it's a
love
great song.
It was great.
Mm.
Yeah. How about Shambhala?
Absolutely.
Great Three Dog Night tune.
Mm-hmm.
How about another super cool tune? Never Been to Spain.
See, that was one. Once I'd compiled my top three,
Uh-huh.
I saw that one and I was like, oh no, you
Yeah.
got to cut it off at some point.
Exactly. Now, at one point, I had Celebrate on the list, but I took it off and I put Mama Told Me Not to Come.
Yeah.
I just love the groove of that organ, everything.
Yes.
My top three. How about you, Jerry?
Solid
Thank you.
picks.
My top three: Celebrate.
All right.
Mama told me not to come.
Good.
And literally, just thinking about hearing the intro to this song, I get goosebumpy, and it's Shambhala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just that, and especially the harmonies when they get to their
Mhm.
oh, I just remember just being a kid going, man, this is great.
Yeah.
So Shambhala to this day, goosebumpy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And before we get to yours, Jim, I will say their music does not sound contemporary for today's music whatsoever. It has that
Got
good
something
old
to it.
feeling of
Ah.
classic feel.
Yeah.
You know?
This is music. This is a
Yeah.
band. This is good.
Mhm. Well, with that being said, Jim, what are your top three Dog Night tunes?
Well, Shambhala was the one I knew right off the bat.
All
I
right.
think that was
Love
going to
that.
be on my
That-
top three
That's
list.
a threefer. Look at that.
Yeah.
And Mama Told Me Not to Come. I think
Ah.
maybe the first song I remember is kind of recognizing that as Three Dog Night.
Right.
I think I had that on like some kind of KTEL
Yeah, it was
compilation or something like
the
that.
orange and pink cover, I think. Yeah.
And then a little different direction here. Black and White.
Oh, the ink is black. There you
Oh yeah.
go. That's
See, had you
another
gone
good
down the
choice.
rabbit hole, Jerry, you would have known that.
I that's right.
Yeah.
And that was one that was like, oh, I completely forgot about that one. That one
Oh.
and
yeah.
Never Been to Spain. You know, it's
Yeah.
just.
Oh yeah.
And then there was like a bunch. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that song. I remember that
Mhm.
song.
Yeah.
Because you always think of the biggies, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, Joy to the World. Holy cow, that thing was everywhere.
Good old Jeremiah. Yeah.
Jeremiah.
And I wouldn't blame anybody for having it on their list.
Nope.
No.
And that's exactly why I didn't put it on there, because it was almost the first.
Because you
song
thought
I
we would
thought
have
of.
it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right, Jerry, you have the next pick for classic, but not right now. Hold on.
Ready.
All
Yep.
right. Why don't we go ahead and move forward with some new music, Jerry? What do you got for us?
I shall, Jim and Frank. I have a group called the Kaisers, been around in various incarnations, not a lot of them, but since '92, out of Glasgow, Scotland. And they have a large bio, and thank you to Kaiser Johnny Maben for getting back to Shaken Abe via email. It's a large bio, folks. So just I want to tell you social right off the bat. Facebook, it's the Kaisers Beat, and then Instagram is _Kaisers_official, because it's a heavy bio. And these guys, I read this is a short one, a beat group from Scotland, and through several paragraphs of their bio, they come up with something called the Hamburg sound. And I guarantee you guys, when you hear it, you'll know that's from Hamburg back in the day. They absolutely have mastered it. The name of the band is the Kaisers, from the album More from the Kaisers that came out last month. Excuse me. The name of the song Frank's Gonna Spin is That Kind of Fun. We got Kaiser George Miller on lead guitar, Kaiser Johnny, and that's what it says, folks, on Conspiracy Land, all of them. Kaiser Johnny Maben on drums, Kaiser Mark Ferry on bass, and Kaiser Gus McIntyre on rhythm. And again, a beat group from Scotland with the Hamburg sound. And it's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful, gentlemen. Spin it, Frank.
I used to know little Sally and Joe. Joe had the money and Sally had the good loving. They go out every night. Sally pick a fight, and Joey take care of the pushing and shoving. They drove to the Green Oak Bar to hear some wild guitar, sipping at some old LD along the way. Joey, he cut his hand, smashing up the band, and Sally got engaged to a saxophone player called Jay. Well, mama don't allow that kind of fun no more. Fun no more. You better be home by 10, that's for sure. That's for sure. She's taking your keys and she's gonna lock the door. She's gonna lock the door. Mama don't allow that kind of fun no more. Sally spent the night with a boy named Brad. Who showed her some pictures that she wished she'd never seen. Joey turned on the light and got a mighty mad. Cause he wanted coffee and Brad had used all the cream. Well, mama don't allow that kind of fun no more. You better be home by 10, that's for sure. She's taking your keys and she's gonna lock the door. Mama don't allow that kind of fun no more. Mama don't allow that kind of fun no more.
There's the Kaisers with That Kind of Fun. Wow.
Yeah.
Jim, what are your thoughts on that?
That was kind of fun. I like
Yes.
that.
Uh-huh.
Guys who wear their influences right on the sleeve, man.
Yes.
I love that Chuck Berry guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Great song. Well done.
Yeah.
Kind of funny lyrics. I like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Very catchy. I love the whole sound and
The Hamburg sound, baby.
Yeah, Hamburg. You're not
Yeah.
joking. You can just
No.
picture the brick wall behind them.
I absolutely can. And the stage this big.
Right. Exactly.
Postage stamp of a stage.
Yep.
Right.
I tell you what, if they played back in 1962 or something like that,
Yeah.
we may be talking a different tune right now, all the way
Yeah.
around.
Talking about the Kaisers.
That
Talking about
Kaisers.
Out of
Yeah.
Glasgow. Yeah.
And I love that what you say, Jim. They are not afraid to wear their influences on their sleeve, because
Yeah. And
that nothing to be ashamed of there, because that is a huge
that's
influence.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kaiser Johnny, for getting back to the show.
But I
Appreciate
can
it.
imagine these guys being like sort of the ultimate bar band in
Oh man,
Glasgow,
can you imagine?
right?
Can you
See
imagine that going on in the background while you're
rocking
tipping a few?
the place out.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Thank you,
All right.
Kaisers. The Kaisers. Yeah.
Check the Kaisers.
Dang,
Um,
that's good.
I think they've got a couple other releases also.
They've got quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Apple Music. They're on Bandcamp. Just if you would have told me before I even heard of them, hey, there's a Hamburg sound, I would have been like, what do you mean? No, but then you hear it, you go, oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
No getting away
Thank
from
you.
that.
No, man, that was a treat.
All right. Well, talking about wearing influences on your sleeve, I think that's a good theme to continue with, Jim. I think of the Ramones and bands like that in the mid 70s. And when I think of them, I think of this band. They're called The Stiff. And Frank Tabino is the guitarist and main songwriter for The Stiff. And he got back to me and he told me they're a 4-piece band out of South Florida. And 3/4 of them were the band Atomic Fly, who released EPs between 2020 and 2022. Then their singer, Johnny Atomic, decided to move on. So Frank recruited his younger cousin, Stratus, excuse me, and he sings and he plays rhythm guitar, and his style is a more alternative and melodic style that really put a little bit of grit to the band and changed the sound to what they were looking for. They just finished their debut LP, and it's called The Stiff in high def, and this is one of the singles, and it's called Steel, and this is a mouthful. The Stiff with Steel.
Why'd you have to go and steal my heart? You know I never trusted anyone before. But now you go and steal my heart. Well, you better hold it tight. You better treat it right, yeah. Why'd you have to go and steal my heart? You could've left me there. You could've let me be, yeah. But you best not break this heart. You better hold it tight. You better treat it right, yeah. 'Cause what if you get sick of me? And you tell yourself this could never be. Well, then what happens to me? Tell me. Well, then what happens to me? If you tell yourself this could never be. So what if you get sick of me? Of me? Why'd you have to go and steal my heart? You could've left me there. You could've let me be, yeah.
There is The Stiff with Steel. And tell me you don't get a CBGB's kind of feel for that when you're listening to it. What are your thoughts there, Jim?
Uh, I really liked this, and I'm going to tell you, I love the rhythm section.
Yep.
Like the drumming in this is, it's to me, it's got like the perfect amount of embellishment in there. The dynamics are great, and the bass playing,
Oh, stellar.
those little runs in between, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't overdo it, right?
Mm-mm.
He knows
No.
when to like just kind of ride that note, and then when to
Take
kind
a
of do the
walk.
run up to the next note.
Yep.
And the tone is great.
Yeah.
And the rest of the song's pretty good too. I
Jerry?
enjoyed it, and they know how to
Yeah.
end a song.
Yes, they did.
Good for them.
Jerry, your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. I like how Rod sounds. Bass player's earning his money.
Yeah.
Very, I can't think of who it reminds me of, but it's different enough to where it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
like it on its own. So yeah, the Stiff out of Fort Lauderdale. Very good, Frank. Yeah.
I have to say, Frank got back to me while he was in Europe. He was taking a bus to Rome from somewhere and
Wow.
emailing me back. And he had told me at one point he had this not up Jerry's alley at all, but he had the demo version of this also. And I said, well, send it along. If you have an MP3 file, send it along if you can find it. And I'll play it at the end of the show just to see how it evolved
Yeah.
into this song that it became.
Yeah, that's
But,
good stuff.
Yeah, he's either vacationing or working, one or the other. I don't know, but just the same, I appreciate him getting back to us and
Thank you. Yeah,
just good energy music. I love that. I love that.
that
Yeah.
is that's good energy. Good
Yeah.
good way to describe it. Yeah.
All right. Well, check out the Stiff. They're on Bandcamp. They've got I'll put their links and everything on our page also, but Facebook, and they've got a website, and a few other places you can check them out and get an idea what they're all about as well. All right.
Like that.
Okay. Well, right now let's talk. Like I said, when we choose a classic album, this was classic in the sense of the age, not in the sense that everybody and their brother knew about this album. I picked it for Jerry. I thought of
And
Jerry.
I loved it.
I'm glad
And
you
I
did.
loved it. Thank
Yep.
you.
And we're talking
Yep.
about Arcade, and it's the debut studio album from. They were considered a super group at the time. I don't know. We're talking about Stephen Pearcy and Fred Corey and a couple other guys, Sea Hags, just different bands.
Supergroup might be a stretch.
Yeah. And I guess maybe it was Stephen Pearcy that made the Wikipedia page. I don't know. But anyways, it was released in 1993. It sold 100,000 copies. So
Not
No,
too
that's
shabby.
not bad.
not
Nope.
too shabby. Produced by David Prater, and had 3 or 4 singles also, which I was surprised. Let's see here. Nothing to Lose, Cry No More, Calm Before the Storm, and one other song was also Reckless was a bonus track that was on the Japanese version. But anyway, Stephen Pearcy, Frankie Wilsix, Donnie Syracuse, Michael Andrews, and Fred Corey on drums. It peaked at 133
Yeah.
in the Billboard. So it didn't chart well, but it sold well. And it has to be off the name of Stephen Pearcy, I'm guessing. So
Yeah.
that's all I could see for it, because I wasn't familiar with the singles, but yet when I heard them, I thought, wow, this is a pretty hardcore album. And then when you get to the ballads and you hear keyboards, and it just got a little flaky to me. But I'm wondering what you guys thought if you really gave it a listen of how many songs faded out for like a minute, just long fades. And
Yeah.
we've talked about that several times before about laziness in songwriting. And some fades are good, and they're I don't know, maybe they're meant to be climactic in a way, because they're
Plus
changing
the time back when they
they're
were
stretching things out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this seemed like let's just repeat, and fade, and we'll get ourselves a 40-minute record sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let me pull this up here real quick. Dancing with Angels, the debut song, good, strong song.
Yep.
Nothing to Lose, another good, strong song. Calm Before the Storm, Cry No More. When those keyboards came out on that, I'm like, oh no, not keyboards, but they're there. I don't know. I don't think this is an album that is going to be considered a classic in the sense of, holy cow, you have to listen to this. You only have to listen to this if you're a fan of Rat, I think, and Stephen Pearcy. Because no matter how big of a name the drummer is, who buys a record because of the drummer?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless your name is Ringo Starr, right?
And Pearcy's in fine form vocally
on this album. He still had
it.
He
oh yes.
Yeah.
He still had the pipes.
I will say, Nothing to Lose is probably Nothing to Lose and Dancing with the Angels are my two favorite songs on that album. And the rest is good stuff, but forgettable.
Yep.
So not everything is a swing and a home run, but still. What were your thoughts on this album, Jim?
I didn't have good memories of this record when you said it. I was
Right.
like, oh,
I'd never heard of it. I thought it was Rat. I texted Frank later. Can't find this.
Well, I remember hearing it at the time when it came out and just thinking like,
Yeah.
it's just not
Right.
not great. Like nothing's really that hooky.
That's exactly it.
But I will say this. Pearcy sounds like he's really going for it.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, as far as like the vocal performance, like
Right.
it sounds like he is really
Giving his all.
given his absolute 100% on this record. It was a little surprising, much more so than I think anything I remember hearing from Rat.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like he has something to prove. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need you guys. This is what I can do without you.
Yeah.
But the music wasn't there.
Yeah, but even on the first listen, I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But on the second listen, I started picking things out, and I was like, this song's really better than I gave it credit for, kind of thing, right? And I think maybe it's just kind of one of those slow burn records.
Mm-hmm.
The more you listen to it, the more you kind of dig it. Nothing to Lose was my top track on this. That's
Gotcha.
maybe the hookiest, kind of catchiest song
Right.
bunch. What was the opening? Dancing with Angels.
Dancing with the
Yeah.
Angels. Yeah.
That was another one that better on multiple listens.
Yeah. Well, that is just such an in-your-face opening track.
Never Going Home.
No, that's
I wasn't a fan of the ballads.
nor I.
Right.
I know they got to put them in there, especially back then.
Right. It was mandatory.
But I don't think they
yeah.
think they really needed to. I think the ballads is what kind of killed that whole genre of music.
Yeah, they should have
Yeah.
kept doing
The whole
rockers.
power ballad thing was a
Right.
mistake.
Yeah.
Jerry, what are your thoughts?
Dancing with the Angels right out of the gate.
Mhm.
And you really called it, Frank, and folks back out in Conspiracy Land. It reminded me a lot of Infestation.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite Rat album is Infestation. And this album by Arcade, very well recorded, very great guitars, especially the bass. He plays that high treble bass where the strings are really loose. You can hear them rattling.
Mm-hmm.
Reminded me of a couple Ace Frehley songs. But two tunes on it reminded me totally of the Motley Crue. One was Calm Before the Storm. To me, that beginning sounds like Shout at the Devil. And then Screamin' SOS reminds me of another Crue song. I can't think of it right now, but I had little Crue markers right by it. They got an instrumental called Sons and Daughters, which is beautiful.
Right.
That's beautiful. And then the solo on Mother Blues. But yeah, my favorite right out of the gate is Dancing with the Angels. And very well recorded, very good sounding. Like I like it.
Right.
I should say. Like I like it.
There you go.
And yeah, and Jaime is correct. Pearcy was just going, you know what? out. He was
Yeah.
going balls out, and he's just. I think that's a good way to say it. Hey guys, you know, none of you guys are in the studio with me, and I'm putting this out.
Right.
I think I still like Infestation better.
I do too.
I do too. Yeah, but this is little sampler, little
Yeah.
nibble. You know,
And it's funny you mentioned Motley Crue because Calm
The
Before
two
the
of 'em.
Storm
Huh.
was written about Nikki Sixx, according to
well, there you go.
Wikipedia. So
I have shout out
I'd
the
have to go
devil.
back and give it a listen and actually hear
Yeah.
what the lyrics are. Because for me, this album, a lot of the lyrics were very forgettable. Just the
Yeah.
songs didn't
Yeah.
stick like the first few Rat albums. And I credit that to Crosby and DeMartini.
DeMartini. Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's just something that was a fantastic guitar duo. So,
It was. Yep.
but anyways,
Absolutely. I would say stream it, don't buy it.
bingo. Yeah, it's not a
I
must-have.
saw a copy of a CD
Excuse
for
me.
like $30.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I
Get
was
Apple
like,
Music, folks.
Nah.
Yeah.
Listen to it for free.
I
Well,
probably have a copy of it laying around somewhere, and I don't even
$10.99
Yeah.
a month free.
remember it. But
I had it. I pulled it out, and it was one. I don't know if
That's
you
why
guys
you
have-
had it on cassette.
yeah,
That's
it's like
why.
I don't, it's not something that gets played an awful lot. But
No.
when I went back and listened, I threw it on iTunes. Did my whole walk on the treadmill while I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the thing that bothered me the most, I hate to harp on this, but those fade outs, holy cow, that was a buzzkill for me.
yeah.
So, anyways, okay, well, that's Arcade. We don't need to harp on Arcade
No.
any longer. And
Don't
again,
put no more quarters in that
nope,
arcade.
nope, that's it. That's nickel, if anything. Now,
That's the pinball machine before the flippers.
right. All right. Again, Jerry, you've got the next pick. Keep that in mind.
I'm ready to go. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
But right now, let's get some music from Jim.
Okay. So we're revisiting the Well Wishers, which sounds like a lot of people, but it's Jeff Shelton.
Yeah.
He's been doing it now for 20 years. This is album number, lucky number 13, he calls it. Just so you know. And the tune we're going to listen to is Old Enough to Know. So go ahead and drop the needle in the groove, Frank.
All right.
How many simple things I know? I believe that we're young enough to grow. How many dreams can you abort? Just a matter of time before the clock winds down and dies.
old enough to know by the Well Wishers. That sounds like the Rembrandts all grown up. you know?
Yeah.
It does kind of
Jangly.
sound like that.
Harmony,
loved it.
jangly. Oh,
Yeah.
I did too. That was great.
That
Yeah,
was a nice-
there's a few things going on in there. There's a little that guitar thing kind of reminds me of a little Tommy Keene in there, and Rembrandt's, like you said. And
good stuff,
Very good stuff.
man. I like once again, production is key. When you've got so much going on and you yet hear so many instruments at one time,
Yeah.
that's the mark of just
Jangly and
Yeah.
12 stringy and
great
harmonies and vocals. And
well, we've talked about that before, right? There's
we sure have.
every instrument has a little room to breathe in there.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that was fantastic. And it was a good a pace, a nice beat to it. It wasn't slow, it wasn't too fast. It was right there in the groove, in the pocket.
Yep.
And it just stayed there, and it just made you smile.
It's not sadcore.
Not
No.
sadcore. No, it's not.
Touche. That was not sad at all.
Yeah. The Well Wishers. Now, is that off a full album coming out, or is that a single?
Yes, the album came out in May, so it's been around for a couple months. but,
Gotcha. Worth
available
checking
on
out.
Bandcamp. I think it's roughly 12 songs. You can download it for $7. It's
Sweet.
$7 well spent.
Yes, I agree.
Skip that Starbucks macchiato.
Just
Double
one of them.
caramel, whatever.
Skip just one of them. Yeah.
Go get yourself some good music.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay, Jerry,
Yes, sir.
what top 3 songs from what band should we be looking for in our next episode?
Well, I'm going to go a little off. Well, not necessarily a little off. I'm going to go way back.
Way back.
Top 3 by Elvis Presley.
Oh, okay.
I knew you were going to say Elvis for some bizarre reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's that lifelong connection since high school. Yeah. For some reason, yeah, baby. That's right. Give me a peanut butter and banana sandwich, baby.
Cool. Oh, I like that.
Ah,
I know one right off. The
yeah,
bat, for sure.
it popped it. I know 2. Yeah, and then I hope I don't fall down the rabbit hole, but I know 2 right off the bat. One very early 70s and one when he first came out. I love them both.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to find a tweener. Yeah.
It's all good. Okay, well that's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Well, what about a classic album for us to revisit?
Well, Jim and Frank and folks on Conspiracy Land. How about the debut by Jeff Beck?
Oh, truth.
Oh my.
How about that, guys and girls?
I think that's genius.
Do you think?
Jeff Beck is, folks. I'm not Conspiracy Land. That's just Jeff Beck.
Do you think?
But
besides musicians, do you think he was appreciated enough as a guitarist from the regular normal listener?
not by me, and I feel absolutely bad by saying it.
Right.
I am a complete Joe Satriani nut, and when I hear Beck stuff 15 years before Satriani came out, I said, oh,
right.
I know where Joe got the idea.
Right.
So very good question, Frank. Not appreciated by me at all.
Right.
I hate to say it, not at all, until
Gotcha.
something popped in my head and I went back and I was going to pick one of them is the album Blow by Blow, like the mid 70s. And it was called a landmark album.
Right.
And it is all funk.
Yeah.
And it is great. And I was going to pick that, but I thought, you know what? Let's go give a first listen to Roderick Stewart and Jeff Beck's first solo album. But underappreciated doesn't even come close, Frank. I feel I have missed decades of stuff. I listen to some stuff and I just go, oh, Joe Satriani is where he heard it.
And he didn't use a pick, right?
No.
He used a fingernail.
used a
that,
fingernail.
finger picking.
Excuse me, and the tremble and just underappreciated by myself, Frank.
Right.
I hate to say it. I've heard the name since day one,
Right.
but I never had any of his stuff. The only song I know by him is what's the duet he does with Rod Stewart? Train.
Oh yeah. People
Train.
get
There's a
moving.
train to come. Yeah, train to coming. People get ready.
Okay.
People get
But-
ready.
Highly underappreciated, and I feel bad. I thank the rock gods for this show.
Right.
Otherwise, that would have never. Somewhere, somehow, Beck came up a while ago or whatever. Somehow, and I started looking up, and I'm looking up his albums, and I'm going, "This is fantastic."
Yeah.
And if you want to hear him kick the funk out, get Blow by Blow. I mean, this dude, he could have played in Parliament Funkadelic easily,
Yeah.
if you listen to Blow by Blow. But yeah, Jeff Beck debut, Rod Stewart intro, and highly underappreciated, Frank. I almost feel bad.
All right.
We've had 2 weeks between shows, folks, on Conspiracy Land, and I've been getting backed up.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, I had no idea.
Right.
Because you always hear Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page. So
Mhm.
I unfortunately assumed he's similar,
Oh yeah.
and he is not similar. He is
He was a special guitar player. That's for sure.
very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a player's player.
Yes.
good
You know,
point. Good
when
way,
you talk
good way
to
to put
when
it.
you talk to the average Joe on the street and say, "Oh, who's the best guitarist or who's your
Yeah.
favorite guitarist?" Right? The usual suspects will come up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right? The
this dude's
Eddie Van
unreal. This
Halen's, the
dude's
Jimi Hendrix, the Jimmy Page.
guys from
Steve
another planet.
Vai, take
Yeah.
a pick, whatever.
Right.
Gazillions of shredders. But when
Dudes
you
from
ask
another
those
planet.
guys, they'll
Jeff
say
Beck's
Jeff Beck.
always up top. Yep.
He's always
Yeah.
up near the top of the
Yep.
Unreal,
top of the heap.
unreal, guys.
So
Unreal.
thank you, Jerry. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to
Yeah,
it.
you got it, guys. Heck yeah.
Good stuff.
I just saw a thing the other day
Hmm.
where Jimmy Page was talking about he had loaned Jeff Beck his Telecaster. I don't know if you guys saw that little reel that was
I
going
did
on.
see it. I didn't. I didn't do the thread. Yeah.
Well, then at a certain point, Jeff Beck brings it back over and gives it to Jimmy Page, and he's all, "What's this?" And he's all, "Well, that's your guitar." He goes, "That's not my guitar." And he goes, "Well, yeah, I had it repainted for you." Jimmy Page was so angry.
Yeah.
He said it says in the interview, he's like, "Oh, I'm just thinking they're like, what did this idiot do?" So he had to take the guitar back and had it all stripped off and
Yeah.
taking it
That's
back
great.
down. But and those guys were buddies.
Right.
And can you imagine that
Jeff
little
thought he was
moment?
doing him a favor, I guess.
Can you imagine that moment in time when they're both in the same band together? That's just
Something else.
unfathomable to me.
No, I have listened. I was mid 80s. I went and saw Rod Stewart at Orange County down there at the fairgrounds. Right? And it was the start of the tour. I think it was the very first couple shows. And Jeff Beck came out for two
Oh, nice.
songs. People Get Ready and then Infatuation
Oh,
or
wow.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah, that's the
after
other one he
that-
did. Yeah.
right after that he quit because he told Rod Stewart, I don't know if you know who I am or not, but I don't just do two songs. If you want me to tour with you, I want to play the show. But he already had his band. Rod was
Right.
Yeah. Rod had it. Yeah.
and he basically said, "I'm not anybody's special guest. I'm sorry." And they
Yeah.
kind of had a little falling out there for a while, but
Well.
I was fortunate enough to see him
Oh,
on
lucky
stage.
you, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Yeah, he did do the lead on Infatuation.
God, that's what. Yeah,
He
those are
did.
the two songs.
Yeah.
If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, that he did. And
Mm.
Rod Stewart came around again. I would. It seems like he was playing every year or every 7 or 8 months
Yeah.
for a while there. He came around again, of course, pretty much the same show, but no Jeff Beck this time.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so, oh well. But good pick. Good pick. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else to discuss tonight?
I don't know. I think we're all talked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Me-
I would like to share something. Every band we pick starts with the word "the."
Oh, very good.
I don't know if that's a first or not.
Well, so you know the Stiff, if you go to look for them on Bandcamp, it's little T, little H, big E, Stiff.
There's Fort
And-
Lauderdale. Make sure it says Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale.
If you go capital T, H-E, you get the Stiff Weenies.
No,
or
the band
some-
called that. Yeah.
Yeah. some other band. So, anyways. All right,
Well,
Jerry, you got anything else?
Yes, folks of Conspiracy Land. We've heard 3 wonderful bands: the Kaisers, the Stiff, out of Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
and the Well Wishers. Folks, it's out there: Bandcamp, Apple Music, social, YouTube. It's out there. There's great music. And thank you for listening and watching for all these years, and we really appreciate it. And keep rocking.
All right. I just want to say, Dylan Oldham, we're so excited to be getting this skate deck out of my house and into your hands as soon as possible. Congratulations, young man.
Dylan Oldham. Yeah.
Yes. Jim, what about you?
Oh, if you made it this far, smash the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell. We'll slide into your DMs. Not quite every 2 weeks, but pretty close. Leave a comment. Let us know. Let us know what your favorite Three Dog Night songs are. Tell us what you really think of Arcade. Tell us what you think of. What do you tell us what you think of tonight's bands?
Yeah.
I know Jeff does that. I'll always say like, "Oh, I like this song," or
Right.
that's.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that
Brandon,
too.
yeah. Brandon pays attention.
It's very
Much
nice.
More so than I do. Yeah. He pays more attention to the podcast than I do. Thanks, Brandon.
He probably takes notes too, though.
I gotta have my notepad. I mean,
It is warm
Gotta
out
have it.
there, folks. So please stay fresh, cheese bags.
here we go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Stay hydrated. Stay safe.
And
Yes.
stay fresh.
All right.
Stay
Okay. Until
fresh.
next time, Jim, take us on home.
Shop is closed.